People always ask me how to get smart. I told them, I don't know how to be smart, but I do know how to not be an idiot. My name is Charles Munger, and if Warren Buffett was the gas pedal of Berkshire Hathaway, I was the brakes. I was the architect of the framework that kept us from driving off a cliff. I didn't start my journey in the world of finance. Far from it. My first real job was as a meteorologist in the Army Air Corps during World War II. I learned about probabilities, about complex systems, about the unpredictable nature of the world. After the war, I became a lawyer. I didn't have a business degree, and frankly, I thought most business schools taught nonsense anyway. They try to fit the complex, messy world into neat little formulas, and it just doesn't work that way. Instead, I believed in what I called worldly wisdom. It's the simple idea that you can't understand the world through one narrow lens. If all you have is a hammer, every problem starts to look like a nail. You can't just be an expert in finance. You need to understand the big ideas from all the big disciplines. You need physics to understand how systems work. You need psychology to understand how people fool themselves. You need history to see the patterns that repeat over and over. You need biology to understand evolution and survival. So I built a latticework of mental models. In my head, a collection of tools, a checklist to run every decision through. Why? To ensure I wasn't fooling myself. Because the easiest person in the world to fool is yourself. And most people go through their whole lives doing just that. Now, my life wasn't just sitting in a chair reading, though I did plenty of that. Life has a way of punching you in the face, and it doesn't pull its punches. When I was in my 30s, a young lawyer trying to make my way, my family was struck by tragedy. I remember walking the streets of Pasadena, just crying, while my 9-year-old son, Teddy, died slowly and painfully of leukemia in the hospital. There was nothing we could do. The world felt broken. A year later, my marriage fell apart. I was broke, divorced, and grieving. I felt like I had lost everything. Later in life, a botched cataract surgery left me blind in one eye. The pain was so intense that I thought I would lose my mind. The doctors said I might lose the other eye as well from sympathetic ophthalmia. I realized I might spend the rest of my life in darkness. So what did I do? I told my doctor, well, if that happens, I can still learn Braille, can't I? You see, pain is inevitable in life, but suffering, that's optional. You learn that you can either wallow in self-pity, or you can soldier on. I chose to soldier on. There was no other choice. Then, one day in my hometown of Omaha, I met a young man named Warren Buffett. He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, but in my view, he was misguided. He was following the teachings of his mentor, Ben Graham, buying junk companies just because they were statistically cheap. He called them cigar butts. You find one on the ground, and there was one free puff left in it. It worked, to a degree, but it was a terrible way to build a great business. You were always dealing with failing companies and mediocre management. I told him he was wrong. I said, Warren, forget buying fair companies at wonderful prices. That's too hard. Instead, let's buy wonderful companies at fair prices. It's a much better way to live. You get to partner with great people running great businesses, and you just let the compounding do the work for you. It took some time, but eventually he listened. That shift in thinking changed everything for Berkshire Hathaway. We bought See's Candies. It was a wonderful business with a powerful brand, and we paid a fair price for it. It taught us the power of a brand and pricing power. Then we bought Coca-Cola, a simple product, but a business with a nearly unassailable competitive moat. We stopped trying to be clever and started trying to be rational, and there's a huge difference between the two. People think rationality is easy. It's not. The human mind is not wired for rationality. It's wired for stupidity. Our brains are full of glitches, of cognitive biases. It's wired for envy, which is the dumbest of all sins because that's the only one you can't have any fun at. It's wired for denial, for refusing to see the facts right in front of your face. It's wired for following the herd, even if the herd is running straight into oblivion. To be a successful investor, and really to be successful in life, you have to fight those instincts every single day. My greatest trick wasn't picking stocks. It was a simple mental model called Inversion. It's so simple, it's almost embarrassing. Instead of asking how to achieve something, you ask the opposite. I never asked, how can I help this company succeed? That's too complicated. I asked, what would kill this company? What are all the things that could go wrong? What are the dumbest things we could possibly do? And then I spent all my energy just avoiding those things. It's like the old saying, all I want to know is where I am going to die, so I will never go there. It's about avoiding stupidity, not about achieving brilliance. I lived to be 99 years old. I saw booms, I saw bust, I saw wars, and I saw incredible technological revolutions. I saw the world change in ways that were unimaginable when I was a boy. And through it all, I realized that while the technology changes, while the headlines change, human nature never does. The same patterns of greed and fear that drove the tulip bubble in the 1600s are the same ones driving bubbles today. The fundamental principles of business and human behavior are timeless. So, I am Charlie Munger. And if you want one final piece of advice from an old man who has seen a lot, here it is. Don't try to be brilliant. That's a fool's game. There will always be someone smarter than you. Just try to be consistently not stupid for a very, very long time. Read a lot. Learn from the mistakes of others. Know your own biases. Invert your problems. And find a way to soldier on, no matter what punches life throws at you. If you can do that, you'll be amazed at how far you can go. Thank you for listening.